Shalom, shalom. Bear with me. Shalom. Mic check. Alright, 1 second. I'm trying to see if somebody can let me know, but I want to see if the audio is good. Bear with me. Let's see, shalom. Mic check. Bear with me. Let's see, shalom. Mic check. Alright, come. Alright, shalom. I want to start off as always, of course, giving all honor and glory to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, HAQADASH. Double honors to the elders of Great Millstone, who will teach well and sound doctrine, being a great example to the ministry of YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. Strong shalom to the hopeful elect and the rest of the large multitude of men, women, and children. The Lord will have mercy on these last days. Right, Brother Kadash? Come back with another lesson through the spirit and power of YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. Lord willing, it's edifying. Alright, as you can see from the title, New Year's, Christmas, and Thanksgiving. Alright. Now I'm gonna probably make this quick as possible. Got a few articles I want to show y'all. Alright. We're gonna do it backwards. Okay, since Thanksgiving happened already, Christmas already happened. The next one to happen is New Year's. So we're gonna start with New Year's and go back the other way, Christmas and then Thanksgiving. All right, real quick. Let's go here. This is Daniel. (7 and 25). Shit, it's like, yeah. Make sure I was in the chapter. Daniel 7 and 25. It says, "And he shall speak great words against the Most High." And what's those great words? The blasphemy. Okay, saying he's God, or saying he's the power. Okay, saying he's the people of the book. Okay, saying he's the righteous, or he's the holy, by calling himself white. All right, saying that that he's trying to basically say that his hands are long enough to box with the Lord, man. It says, "And he shall speak great words against the Most High," right? Saying the Messiah is not true, or that he didn't come, right? Saying that whatever you could think of, this man has said it and he has done it, man. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High. When did he wear out the saints of the Most High? During slavery. All right, during the Silk Road slave trade. Okay, because he had his hands in all these things, man. All right, but mainly during the transatlantic slave trade, man. Okay, and any other trades that was going on with Ephraim. You know what I'm saying? That was going on with Ephraim and the Northern Kingdom, man. All right. But it says, again, Daniel 7 and 25, "And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High." So that's how he wore us out, through captivity, man. All right. Through captivity and physical oppression that led to mental oppression, which is the spiritual oppression. Okay. That caused us to discontinue from our heritage. All right. And think to change times and laws. And they shall be given into his hand. They shall be given into his hand until a time and times, and in dividing the times. Right. So read this last part again. I'm gonna highlight this. It says, it's like it, and think to change times and laws. So right. So that's what you see here today. Right. You have New Year's. Okay. You have Christmas, Thanksgiving. All right. Easter, all these different things. Now, he changed times and laws, right? So he basically tried to write the Most High out of his own movie. Okay, he took the script, he took the job as the wicked, all right, and he saw the movie script and he read the movie script, and now he's trying to Shalom. Now he's trying to rewrite the Most High's movie. He's trying to come to the director face to face and boldly speak blasphemous words against the director, man, and say, "Hey, director, I don't like the way you doing this, so we gonna do it like this." All right. So he leave the set and he gonna make the same movie but in his own way. Okay. In the world, that's called copyright. Copyright claims that's placed on that document. Okay. You could either be jailed for it, fined for it. You see, sued. Okay, whatever. So this man in his own system is going against himself, and he's showing himself to be what he is, and that is the wicked. So he thought to change times and laws. All right, and man, and it says, and they shall begin. Let me highlight this. And they shall be given into his hand until a time and times in the dividing of times, man. So right, so what that's talking about is around what's that the year 1619, right? 1619, 1620, all right, all the way till 1970, man. All right, around the time where Abba Bivens came on the scene as John the Baptist reincarnated through the spirit and faith of YAHWASHI. All right, from 1619, 1620 up until 1970, which is times, and a dividing in time is 350 years. Okay, so they should be given into his hand for a certain amount of time, man. Right? That's how he would. That's how he wore us out. That's it. That's why then the saints are Israel. Psalms 148 and Psalms 50. It says, and he shall wear out the saints. So he wore us out through captivity. All right. And then you had the what? He came with his new era, his rebirthing that he called it, called the Renaissance in the 1400s. All right. So this man is the wicked that the Bible speaks of, man. And so everything you see here today, as far as holidays and or we call them folly days that our people celebrate, it stems from the ancient world, man. It stems from the things that goes back to the ancient customs and the ancient gods. And Esau saw those gods and he took these gods and he meshed them all together just to create one ball, because really all the gods of the nations go back to one false god, man. All right, they all serving the same God with different names, man. You see? Brother SOZ, I'm a one, Shalom, Yahawashim, Brakatah. I'm a one, Wamashah. Isaiah 24:5, the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. You see, yeah, he said, the earth is also defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because the wicked is in rulership. Proverbs 29:2. So we're mourning, okay, showing you that darkness covers the people. Okay, it says because they have transgressed the laws, and in Psalms 50, it's the Lord. They took the covenant of the Lord in their mouth. So that's now they are trying to uphold to the ways of the Lord. But they did it defiled. They did it backwards. So that now they're going to get the curses of it and ultimately destruction, man. You see, because they never had the covenant. They got the covenant artificially. They in a way, they kind of stole the covenant. All right, it says because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance. Right, changed what the Most High deemed beautiful. When you go to Genesis 1, he said, it is done. Okay, it is finished. It is so. And it was so. And it was good. Right? This was created and it was good. But Esau said, no, it's not good. Okay, but when he tried to take the good or the creation of the Lord, and that's the only way he could come up with his madness, man. He take the good and try to milk it to become what he wanted to become. Right? When you look at a computer has a brain, a computer has a monitor, right? It thinks, right? That his whole concept of everything. When you're in the military, you bear arms, right? His whole concept comes from the human body and the creation of the Most High, man. And he tried to take that image and he meshed it into his system, but he's doing it despitefully and wickedly, man. Uh, it says Micah 2:1, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their bed. Woe means destruction. Okay, that devise iniquity, cleverly plan out sin, man, and work evil upon their beds. Right, your resting place, a place of meditation. It says when the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. Right, Second Maccabees 7:16. They have power over man and they do without will. Hebrews 2. Right, the one that has power over death is the devil. It's Hashatan. It's spiritual demon Satan and his counterpart Esau Edom, man. All right. So real quick, let's go to Second Thessalonians real quick. Like I'm gonna make this quick now. It's gonna blow your mind because especially what I'm saying, if you fresh, I'm gonna try to bring some different precepts. This is dealing with the New Year's. Remember, we start with the New Year's first, and then we're gonna move to Christmas, and then I got these articles I want to read to y'all. I brought these articles out like 3 or 4 years ago, dealing with the natives, okay, and dealing with Nimrod. All right, so I want to show y'all that too. But let's get through this real quick. What I want Salakia. Second, this was Second Thessalonians 2, and let's go. Let's start at 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. Right. So that day that had to come, the falling away was in 70 A.D. when they ransacked the city, man, of Jerusalem. Okay, when the Romans ransacked the city under Titus, and that was like considered the day of the Lord's vengeance, man. But he has a greater vengeance on the inhabitants of the earth, man. Okay, that was just a prelude to what's about to come. Okay, and it says that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. The son of perdition is Esau Edom, the man of sin. Okay, the man of wickedness, the man of danger, the man of abomination, man. Because what did he do? Let's go to Isaiah real quick, 29. It's Isaiah 29:16. Surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. So he turned everything upside down. Everything we knew was righteous, he made wicked, man. You see? He made ugly. You see? You take a beautiful woman and you put crazy makeup, you put makeup on her that, and now she look like the Joker. She ugly now, man. Even though that woman was once beautiful. Right? When you go to Lamentations 4:1, he said, how has the fine gold become dim? You see, the fine gold, sparkly, shiny, pleasing to the eye, has become dim. You go to Jeremiah 30 and 17, he said, this is Zion who no man seeketh after. But the Lord said he would heal us because we have became ugly, man. Because the wicked have turned everything upside down. Now we uphold to his ways. Now we celebrate his holy days. Or it's like, you see, that's Satan, his folly days. He has holidays and he spell it like holy days, you see, because he turned everything upside down. He created his own feast days. He created his own everything, man. Everything the Most High has, he created. He created his own stream, like his own dams, right? He tried to make his own rivers. He makes his own beaches. He tried to dwell in the stars. He put satellites in the sky. He tried to see everything. He tried to hear everything. All right, this is the man of sin, man. This is the one who the Lord despises, man. As it says, there should be esteemed as the potter's clay. For I read it from the top. Surely your turning of things upside down should be esteemed as the potter's clay. For shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not? Or shall the thing framed say of him that framed it, he had no understanding? Right, because when you read Second Ezra 4:29. The Lord is going to reverse everything, put everything right side up. You see, because this man has taken everything and he shook it and he put it down, man. Okay, he is putting it down by trying to make his own life, make his own ways. Cause why? He trying to get that blessing, man. He want to live forever too. You see, he don't want to die. Who wants to die? You can't really blame Esau for doing the shit he doing, man. You see, hey, but every man has his lot, man. Every man has his lot, because real quick, when you go to Daniel, let's go back to Daniel. Let's go to the 8th chapter though. Dealing with New Year's. Now this is just a warm up, because now watch this. Real quick, let me get this precept first though. This is Daniel 8:24. It says, and his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power. You see how delusional this dude is? You see? He's mighty, but not by his own power. The Lord has raised him up. When you go to, I'm quoting scriptures because for the sake of time, but when you go to Sirach 10:4, he said the power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over one that is profitable. So the power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord. The Lord said he ruleth in the kingdom of men. And he put up whoever he will, for his glory, man, for his liking and his need. Okay. What's that? Isaiah 46:10. It should do all his pleasure, man. It says, and his power should be mighty, but not by his own power. And he shall destroy wonderfully, and shall prosper and practice, and he shall destroy the mighty and the holy people. That's what it's about. So he's destroying Jake by this system. Okay, the image, his system, man. The image of the beast, his ways, his philosophies, his doctrines. And through his policy, also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand. You see, so through his legislations and his policies and his Democrats and all these different things that he set up, it caused him to it caused craft to prosper in his hand. It became him it allowed him to become more wicked. Okay, so now he went from a serpent to a great dragon. You see, and now he's a great dragon that blows a more powerful flame, man. You see, that great dragon, man. He said it caused craft to prosper in his hand, man. So now he damn, I lost my train of thought, but now he's it'll come back to me, Lord willing. And he shall magnify himself in his heart. So now he's magnifying himself in his heart to think that he did all this on his own. You see, because everything in place looked like he's God, man. You go to him for food, water, and shelter, man. You see, it's in clothes and everything you want in this life, you go to him, man. You see, it says, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, meaning his mind, and by peace shall destroy many. You see, by peace he shall destroy many. How can a nigga destroy somebody by peace, man? You supposed to be at rest at peace. Peace, man. Peace means peace, man. But he destroys many by peace because he's the deceiver, man. Diablo, all right, which means the deceiver. All right, means devil. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand. And that's talking about YAHWASHI, YAHWASHI. Now, real quick, let's go to Genesis 1. Yeah, that's what I'm about to show y'all. Genesis 1 real quick. All right, before I get that, let's go to the comment board real quick. Yeah, I got these stored in my memory bank. Let's get it. We could bring it out now. Lord will, we probably come back to it. Isaiah 5:20. Woe to them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter, man. And that's what Jake do. My mom like, well, that's what they did in the past, but that's not my intention. My intention to, man, you calling evil good and you calling good evil. What something was is what it is. That's what it stands by. All right, that's what it stands by. That's what it is. That's what it's based off of. It still has the foundation. All right. Just because you try to put other material on top of it doesn't mean that it overrode that foundation. That foundation is of a wicked root. And a corrupt tree cannot bring forth righteous fruit, and a righteous tree and a good tree and a beautiful tree cannot bring forth corrupt fruit, man. It don't mix. Psalms 82:5, they know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness, all the foundation of the earth are out of course, man. Right? Because the wicked is in rulership. And then we're about to show that. We're about to show New Year's, we're about to show Christmas, and we're about to show Thanksgiving, man. Or Thanksgiving. It says Psalms 106:35. Right. Got that in my memory bank too. But were mingled amongst the heathen and learned their works. 36, and they served their idols, which were a snare unto them. So by Jake going onto the ways of Esau, Edom, they the idols that they served, these different folly days that goes back to the ancient world and the ancient customs, became a snare unto our people. And we're gonna get that because now, and what's that in Jeremiah 11? Because now by serving their idols, or serving the idols of the nations, just like our forefathers, we reap we reap the curses and we reap the punishment of our forefathers, which was us, man. We were our forefathers, man. You see, it says Isaiah 32:6, for the vile person will speak violently, and his heart will work iniquity to practice hypocrisy. Right. And that's what we read in Micah, because he meditate on how to keep Israel down. Because that's why the vaccine cannot be the actual mark of the beast, because it has to be something where it's forever. All right, it's like a forever thing, because you already see people getting 2 or 3 vaccinations. Damn, I said the word. Maximations. You can't help but say the shit. So that's how you know it's not that. But so he said, for the vile person will speak violently, and his heart will work iniquity to practice hypocrisy. Right, he come with peace, but he should destroy many, and to utter error against the Lord, because his ways are contrary, clean contrary. Wisdom Solomon 2:12, clean contrary to the Lord. So when he speak, he speak and he utter error against the Lord, blasphemy against the Lord. Even when he seemed like he's coming with peace, to make empty the soul of the hungry, and he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail. Verse 7. The instruments also of the true are evil. He deviseth wicked device to destroy the poor with lying words, even when the needy speaketh right, man. You see, and that's his whole goal. That's why Wisdom of Solomon and 5 is so important, because they're gonna be like, I can't believe this whole. It's gonna be like they woke up from a trance, like, oh shit, we was doing that to y'all, but it's gonna be too late. It's already too late, man. All right, that's already too late, man. So let's go to Genesis 1:14. It says, and Yahweh said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heavens to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years. So when you're dealing with the New Year's, Esau tell you that the New Year starts in the middle of smack dead in the winter, man. Smack dead in the winter at nighttime, man. Like I'm talking about in darkness. All right. No leaves on the trees, no apples, no fruit. Okay. This is the wicked, man. This is the man who turned everything upside down and told you that the new year starts when death is on the earth, man. You see, and then this the same guy, this the same man that told you that our Messiah was born when death was on the earth, man. That's blasphemy, man. Speaking error against the Lord, man. And Yahweh said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night. The Lord divided righteousness from wickedness, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years. So the Lord put the luminaries in the sky and the firmament, and they light up the sky, and they help Israel, they help us be guided. You see, they guide us, and they tell us when the season, what season we in. That's how we count our days. We count our days like day one, day 2, day 3. Esau put his names on the days of the Lord. You see how cocky he is, right? He put his names on the months. January going back to Janus, right? Monday dealing with the moon god. Sunday dealing with sun worship. You see, he put his philosophies on the days of the Lord. So you got the seasons. We look up for this in the sky. We could tell. Shit, we could smell when it rain about to rain. Okay, we could tell by it. We look up in the sky. We could tell it's about to shine. It's about to rain. It's about to do whatever, man. We look at the moon. We hold our feast days according to the moon. All right. Matter of fact, let's get that real quick. Let's go to Sirach. Sirach 43. Let's grab that real quick. Because we do everything based off the moon. We keep our Sabbaths off the moon, right? Everything is based off the moon, man. And the luminaries in the sky, in the sun, man. All right, because they never transgress the word of the Lord, man. Let's start at 6. It says that he made the moon also to serve in her season for a declaration of times and a sign of the world, man. Okay? For the moon is the sign of feast, a light that decreaseth in her perfection, man. Right, so the moon decreaseth in her perfection. All right, so we look up in the moon, at the moon, it's a full moon, or it's a half a moon, a crescent moon, whatever the stage of the moon is, that's how we number our days. We keep the Sabbath based off the lunar, man, based off the moon, man. The moon tell you the seasons and the days, man. All right. It says, for the moon is the sign of feast. You see, a light that decreaseth in her perfection, right? Because at night is when the day begins. All right, at night is when the day begins, man. All right, but they don't teach you that in the Christian church. They don't teach you that in the Christian church. It's like y'all know what's going on with this. Because remember, like we read in Daniel 7:25, dealing with from 1619 to 1970, he wore us out. So now everything moves spiritually in terms of how we move. You see? All right. And then when you're dealing with the days, Esau, he put extra days on us. Right? He gave months 30 and 31 30 plus days, man. And then if you take the month of February, I call what is it called? A leap year? I believe that's what it's called. Shit, I forgot Esau's education. Leap year, right? You take away a couple of days, so everything. So when it keep happening, eventually everything is gonna be shifted out of course, man. Because if I'm not mistaken, when you deal with our days is really only like we deal mostly with like 28 and a half days. All right, 28 and a half days, man. But Esau is 30 plus. And you got this whole weird system of his number of days is off, man. He added extra day, man. Extra days. Okay? When we don't deal like that, man. It says, this is Sirach in the Apocrypha 33:7. Why doeth one day excel another? SOZ Amawan Wamasha. Why doeth one day excel another? When as all the light of every day in the year is of the sun. By the knowledge of Yahawah they were distinguished, and he altered, right? And he altered seasons and feasts. Verse 9, some of them have he made high days and hallowed them, and some of them have he made ordinary days, man. Right, man. Right. And that's and why how do we know that? Through the luminaries, through the lights that shine in the firmament, which is the heavens, man. Okay, the first heaven, man. All right, well, going into the second heaven. All right, let's go to real quick. Now watch this. Damn, what I was about to do. Dealing with the spring. The new year does not start in winter. The new year starts in the spring. All right, real quick. Let me get this real quick. Revelations 21. The Lord said this, man. This is Revelations 21:4. And Yahawah shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there should be no more death. No, so like that ain't what I want. I want verse 5. And he that sat upon the throne said, behold, I make all things new. And he said unto me, write, for these words are true and faithful. So that the Lord said he make all things new. And when you go into that word new, it just means refresh. So the Lord is going to refresh us. Okay, and that's what this new year is. That's what spring is. It's a refreshing to the earth. All right, it springs forth life. That's why we know our Lord was born in the springtime, man. All right, watch this. Let's go to James real quick. James 5. What I want? Yeah, let's go to James 5 real quick. We're gonna get that first, and then we're gonna go to Hosea. Now watch this. James 5 and 7. It says, be patient, therefore, brethren, until the coming of the Lord. Behold, the husbandman waited for the precious fruit of the earth. You see? And have long patience for it until he receive the early and latter rain. And that rain is the life. Okay, the nourishment. All right? The Lord, he is life. He's living. He's not dead. Nothing about him is death. All right? Nothing about him is dead. That's why the Lord said the last enemy to be conquered is death, is sin. And that, you see, and he's going to reign on top of that as all Israel. So he said what? Until he received the early and latter rain. Now, the Lord told you also, going back up, the husband waited for the precious fruit of the earth. And that fruit is the elect. The first fruit being watered by Yahawashi, the word. You see, this is how precious the springtime is, because when the rain comes down from the heavens, it nourishes the fruit and they multiply. When they multiply, other life multiply, because it's the cycle of life. But Esau told you that that it starts in the winter when it's dead. You see, some animals die, people die. Okay, it's dark. You look outside, no leaves, no nothing, man. Spring is colorful, man, because it's life on the earth. Ox said Esau want to be God, so he do the same, man. Right. That's he got that God complex. He's trying to uphold to that God complex, man. Right? And you know, people in the world say when people are short, they got that little man syndrome. That's Esau. He got the little nigga syndrome, man. Because he too short to face the Lord, man. This is Hosea 6 and 3. It says, then shall we know if we follow on to know the Lord. His going forth is prepared as the morning, and he shall come unto us as the rain, as the latter and former rain unto the earth. See, the Lord is all about nourishing, showing you that the Lord would never have, one, the Messiah be born when death is on the earth, and then two, meaning like the season of death, and then two, he would never have the new year, which we're gonna get, is called Abib. All right, Abib in the scriptures happen when death and no life is flourishing on the earth. All right, that's never gonna happen. When you go to let's get that one in Proverbs real quick. In 16, this Proverbs 16 and 15. It says, in the light of the king's countenance is life. Hold on. In the light of his countenance, right? Wisdom maketh a man's face to shine. So in the light of a king's countenance is life. Why? Because light is life. You see? And his favor is as a cloud of the latter rain. We keep seeing that latter rain, right? That final state, that perfection. When you go into that word finished, right? When the Messiah said it is finished, he meant it is perfected. It is perfect. So in the light of the king's countenance is life. You see? So the light brings life. Okay, when springtime is here, everybody's in a rejoicing state. You got thug niggas want to go outside and smell flowers and shit, because it brings a positive vibration, because everything is refreshed. Let's go to Songs of Solomon real quick. Let's see what that say. Chapter 2. Now watch this. This is one of my favorites. It says, we could really start at the top, but I'm going to get straight to the point. For lo, the winter is past, the rain is over and gone. You see the dark times, the the chaos, the the hurt, the pain, or metaphorically speaking, is over, man. Because that's symbolic with death, and winter is too, man. Nothing's living, man. Okay? And when you look at bears, they hibernate, they go to sleep, they gather all their food, and then they go to sleep until the springtime, man. Squirrels, you don't see no squirrels out. They gather all their food until the refreshing comes. A lot of creatures and animals and bugs, man, do the same thing, man. Because there's no life, there's no food. If they live during the winter, they would die off because there's no food. So they have to stir up everything. The Lord put it in a mind to do that, man. Because why? We wait for that refreshing. We wait for that latter rain. It says 13, the flowers appear on the earth. The time of the singing of birds is come. You don't hear no birds chirping in the morning in the winter. The voice of the turtle is heard in our land. You don't see this, man. Why? Because it's not the new year. It's not the time of refreshing. It says the fig tree putteth forth her green figs, you see, and the vines with the tender grape give a good smell. Arise, my love, my fair one, and come away. Man, oh my dove, that art in the clefts of the rock, in the secret places of the stairs of the stars. It says stairs. I think it's stars though. Let me see thy countenance. Right, because he's rejoicing. Let me hear thy voice that's singing the praise, for sweet is thy voice and thy countenance is comely, meaning beautiful. Because everything's refreshed. Yeah, man. We can move on, man, because that's one of my favorite chapters. But we hit the point. Oh, real quick, let me go to 1 Thessalonians real quick. And then we're going to move into this Christmas. I want to show y'all something with Nimrod. All right. 1 Thessalonians 5. It says, ye are the children of light, meaning life, and the children of the day, meaning life. Lord told you in Revelation 22, he's the bright and morning star. He's the day star, right? All right. He is the morning star. We are not of the night nor of the darkness. Esau is the darkness. Esau is of decay. So when we mingled amongst the heathen, we learned their works. Now we dwell in the house of the wicked. Therefore, that's why the Lord was able to curse us. You see, because the Esau is cursed. The people of his curse. That's talking about Esau. So Proverbs 3:33 pertains to the wicked, but also 2/3 of our people who follow the pernicious ways, man. Follow the vain and the wicked ways of the heathen, man. So therefore, now our people is cursed. Oh, let's get. I almost forgot. Let's get a bead real quick. Let's go to Exodus. Now, why is this important right here? Exodus 13. Because it shows you that the Lord was born in the springtime. Exodus 13:4. This is talking about what? The Passover. This day came ye out in the month Abib. Now, what is the month Abib? Now, let's go to the blue letter. Let's go to Exodus 13. Come on now. And we about to get that word Abib real quick. And I'm not going to be too much longer. Let's see. Exodus 13:4. Let's get Abib.
Strong's H24. Aviv.
Right. It says, fresh, young barley ears, barley. Month of ear forming, of greening of crop. Meaning what? That refreshing, the springtime, of growing green Abib. Month of Exodus and Passover. So the Passover happened during the springtime. You think, nigga, the water would have been frozen The Lord not parting frozen water, man. The water was lively, man. And he parted the Red Sea and we walked on dry ground, man, because it was the springtime. The Passover. That's where you get the Passover from, when the Lord told us to, mark our doorposts, with the blood, and he passed over us. That's the Passover. Going into the Exodus. This is all during what? Like they say, right here. Man, Esau be knowing sometimes, man. March or April, man. You see? So that's what Abib means, refreshing. It means the springtime. It means new. All right? That's what that's going into. Now, oh, Slocky. I didn't know y'all couldn't see that. Hold on. Damn, man, I be forgetting how to work this thing sometimes. Let's get it again. Let's get it right here. Let me show y'all what I was talking about. They're probably like, man, I couldn't see the screen. Right here. Abib. Green crop of growing green Abib, month of Exodus, Passover, March or April, man. You see? So the word Abib means new, okay, or fresh, or refreshed, meaning springtime, meaning life. All right. So let's go back to that other tab real quick. So we know what the Abib is, and we know that's the new year, man. All right. Let me get this. All right, hold on. So we dealing with the Passover, as you can see right here. You can read that on your own, but I want to show y'all real quick so we can move forward. This is my last precept. I think I'm gonna pull dealing with the new year with our Lord YAHWASHI, man. Let's go to Luke 2. And let's go down to the straight to the point. This is Luke 2. Let me grab this first. Verse 30. Let me just read it from here. Verse 30, for my eyes have seen thy salvation. That's the same thing you read in Exodus 14. When Moses said, look, your salvation is near. It's with us, man. Talking about YAHWASHI, which thou hast prepared before the face of all people, a light to lighten the Gentiles and the glory of thy people Israel. So the Lord is that light. He's that rain. Okay, that latter rain. When you read Revelations 21:22, it's no temple therein. He saw Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHWASHI as in the Lamb, which is YAHWASHI, the temple of it, man. Okay, so that light to lighten the Gentiles, the ones that are in the mindset of the nations, the ones who celebrate Christmas, the ones who celebrate Thanksgiving, the ones who celebrate Halloween and Easter and all these different things. Jump down to the point. 40, and the child grew and waxed strong in spirit, filled with wisdom, and the grace of Yahawah was upon him. Now his parents went to Jerusalem every year at the feast of the Passover, letting you know this is the springtime. And when he was 12 years old, now he's a man, they went up to Jerusalem after the custom of the feast, right? Because when you were outside, when you weren't dwelling in the Holy Land, we keep the feast days in the Holy Land. We will always have to travel back to keep the high holy days. All right. And when you also was outside of the land, you were considered a stranger, right? A foreigner, because you didn't dwell amongst the house no more. Okay, you're still of the house, but you're not dwelling there. So it says in 43, and when they had fulfilled the days as they returned, the child YAHWASHI tarried behind. Well, that's pretty much it. So the feast was kept in the springtime. All right, we just read with the Passover. You keep the Passover at the same time, man. Same thing for generation to generation in the springtime. And that's when our Lord was born, because it says when he was 12, they went to the Passover. Okay, showing you that he was a man of life. He is the man of life. All right, he is the man of life. Now, real quick, let's move to this answer messing me up real quick. It's like it. Let's go to it's like it. And I want to get that precept again. Matter of fact, since the brother had it on, he pulled it. Let's get it. He pulled it. Let me pull it up again. Let's get this Christmas real quick. Isaiah 5:20. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. All right. Now let's get this real quick. Now let me show y'all some. Now this is Nimrod. All right. This is where you get the whole concept. Now, you know, obviously I looked through this. They got some pretty good imagery up here, man. You know, as time goes on, more people do different edits and different things. And you know, because when I originally came across this, like 5 years ago, you know, you didn't have a lot of some of these imagery, which is good. It's all connected, as you can see. Baphomet, as above, so below, with the serpent, the pharmaceutical symbol in the middle. All right, but let's click some of these real quick. You dealing with Nimrod. This is the one I'm used to right here. Ancient Nineveh artifact. Right, you know, and actually it goes like it's so tied in when you go into the scriptures and Revelations. What's it called? What are they? The Nicolaitans. Okay, but it says long beard. You know what I'm saying? This all goes to that's Nimrod right there. Nimrod right there holding the hold on, what that say? 2000 BC. It says his birth is December 25th. You know, so this is who our our families are worshiping, man. You know, and that tree is a representation of his penis, or and also representation of him. All right. Now they got some scriptures up here. You know. Matter of fact, let's see what they say. Then my phone died. Let's pull them up here. Oh damn. Wait, I don't think y'all can see this screen real quick. Let me see. Hold on, man. Shalom, YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI. I keep doing that. Let me share the screen again. Shalom, YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI. Barakatah. Damn, I can't. Y'all can't even see. Go for it, man. Hold on. Here. Let me show y'all the screen real quick. It's like him. I'll be forgetting. I don't know how Apostle Ramlaw do it. He was using StreamYard, but he was clicking all the different tabs. I still don't know how he was able to do that. But here it is right here. You see what I'm saying? So boom. Let's see what these say real quick. So before I do that, let me finish this so I won't. And like I said, these are pretty accurate for the most part. Like I brought this out many times before in the past. All these guys are connected, man. They go back to the ancient mystery schools, but it really goes back to Nimrod. Now, here's an article. All right, let me share this article. Here's an article from a nice little source of information. They're not all the way off, you know what I mean? But I just read it for it because you know I just want to see what people say. Yeah, man, it goes back to Nimrod, the Nimrod tree they call it, man. You know, and one thing they had correct was let's see. Okay, like stuff like this. All right, let's read this. The real origin of Christmas goes back to ancient Babylon. That's correct. It is bound up in the organized autopsy with which Satan has gripped a deceived world these many centuries. There's a typo. In Egypt, it was also believed that the son of Iris, yeah, Egyptian name for Queen of Heaven, right? Yeah, exactly, because who that goes back to? Semiramis. You see? Semiramis. And who is Semiramis? The mother of Nimrod. It says, and she was Nimrod's mother. Paganism celebrated this famous birthday over most of the known world for centuries before the birth of Mashiach. You see, because Esau tried to what? Uphold to the ways of the book. So by him trying to uphold to the ways of the book, remember he took the covenant. You see, so in his mouth. So now by him trying to uphold to the ways of the book, he hold on, let me go back to this real quick. What did what did Esau do? Because Esau think he clever, man. He remember Christmas. Matter of fact, let me put it up on here for y'all. Christmas was banned in the United States, man. You see this? Because they was trying to uphold to the ways of the book. Though Christmas was not as widely celebrated in early 1800s, it was not illegal throughout the country. However, one colony did make it illegal to celebrate Christmas in 1659. Right. So, but while all of a sudden it's this big phenomenon, like this big, woo, you know what I'm saying? Everybody do it. Niggas that don't celebrate it. You got Arabs and they stores. When you go in there to buy a damn some piece of gum, they talking about Merry Christmas. They don't even celebrate it. But why? They drunk off that wine and philosophy of this man, of this beast. All right. So yeah, man, it goes back to Nimrod. Look at it. Lent, Easter, and Christmas are all Babylonian customs, man. That's right, man. And why is this so significant in the scriptures? Because Nimrod, who was Nimrod? Who was Nimrod, man? Nimrod was the grandson of Cum, right? Which is Ham. And Nimrod, what does that mean? He knew the stories and he knew the prophecies. You see, he knew the prophecies that his grandfather was speaking, right? Oh, it's lucky. Because who taught them? Noah. Noah taught them the ways of the Lord. And then they taught their sons. Because the earth, we're going to teach the nations in the kingdom. All right? We're going to teach the nations in the kingdom, man. So, man, let's get that. Let's go back real quick. That's it on that. Like I said, we already went long enough. Let's bring out a few more. Let me show y'all this real quick. Wait, let me go back to the screen, the scriptures. All right. Let's go to Amos 5. Let's be quick with this. It says, I despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies. So as Jake gather their food and they deal with grandma, whatever you call her, G-Ma, whatever, as she's slaved in the kitchen all goddamn days just to cook some stuffing and different things like that. Y'all get done, y'all come together as a family, and y'all surround the table over the food that was prepared for an idol, and you pray over it, man. But what you're doing, you're really sending up a curse upon yourself. You're really cursing yourself. The Lord is not hearing, and he's not smelling your solemn feast. Though you offer me burnt offerings, right, that turkey, that chicken, and your meat offerings, I will not accept them. Neither will I regard the peace offerings of your fat beasts. You see? So the Lord is not dealing with these folly days, man. You see? The Lord is not dealing with these folly days, man. This is Jeremiah. I quoted it earlier, man. We'll get it. Jeremiah 11. Slugging. I went yawning all day. Jeremiah 11 and 10. It says they turned back to the iniquities of their fathers. See? So Jake turned back to the ways that they upheld to in the ancient world, man. Which refused to hear my words, and they went after other gods to serve them. The house of Israel and the house of Judah, northern kingdom and southern kingdom, have broken my covenant which I have made with their fathers. You see, so we're doing this. Our people is doing the same thing as they was doing in the world. The Lord said He required which is past. Okay, when you read Ecclesiastes 1, Ecclesiastes 3. All right. So the Lord required which is past. Therefore, it said, therefore, thus said the Lord, behold, I will bring evil upon them which they shall not be able to escape. And though they shall cry unto me, I will not hearken unto them. So, yeah, man, as you pray and you, I don't know why my cousin got killed on Christmas. You know, why that Christmas tree have to catch on fire, man? You know? Hey, man, that's the Lord's judgment, man. It says, then shall the cities of Judah and the inhabitants of Jerusalem go and cry unto the gods unto whom they offer incense. You see, but they should not save them at all in the time of their trouble. Right? Because when you participate in Christmas, you know, you're putting you're giving offerings unto that image, the tree, the presents and stuff like that. And then you bring your children into it and y'all all worship them in your house. Which the tree is just an extension of Nimrod. Whether you go into being his rod, his penis, or whether you go into it just actually being him and whatever, man. For according to the number of thy cities were thy gods, were thy powers, or were thy false gods, O Judah, and according to the number of the streets of Jerusalem have ye set up altars to that shameful thing, even altars to burn incense unto Baal. You see, and that's what these people do. These offerings come from your dinners, your Christmas, your holiday parties, man. All right, your holiday parties, man. um, Romans 11, real quick. Romans 11 and 4. But what saith the answer of Yahweh unto them? Unto him, I have reserved to myself 7,000 men who have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal, man. You see, and when you and people get it misconstrued, like worshiping is when you don't. Sometimes you don't necessarily have to bow. Okay, worship can be through verbal contribution, through too much focus on something. You know, so those are all things of or examples of worship. Who have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal, and bow, when you bow to something, you're submitting to it. Okay, you're submitting to it. The Lord is saying He's reserved a remnant that has not submitted to the ways of Baal. If you go into Baal, it's just going back to Nimrod. It's just going back into Tammuz, Semiramis, the whole shebang, man. You see, because like I think the brother posted it on here. I think I read it earlier. Yeah, kind of Psalms 106 and 35. Matter of fact, I get it on here because I want to read. Let me see if we got some more now. I think it's the next verse too. Psalms 106. "35. But were mingled among the heathen and learned their works, and they served their idols, which were a snare unto them." Yeah, right. We read it earlier. So, yeah, man, they served the idols, which was a snare unto them. So now our people still uphold to those ways to this very day, man. Which is keeping the curse on them, which they can't figure out why their lives are the way they are, man, because they sacrifice their sons and their daughters unto devils. Okay, that's what they do, man. They sacrifice their sons and their daughters to devils, man. When you die an Easter egg, what you think dying an Easter egg represents? It goes back to Ishtar, okay, the so-called mother goddess, all right, which goes back to Semiramis, man. It's all the same gods, man. The great whore in Revelation 18 really goes back to Semiramis, okay, but it's spiritual. It's spiritual now because this is spiritually Babylon. So it's talking about that as a representation of that whore, man, of that wicked woman, man. All right. Damn, what I was supposed to get? Let's go to Ezekiel. Yeah, keep going. Ezekiel 8 and 20. 20, 12. Then he said he unto me, Son of man, hast thou seen what the ancients of the house of Israel do in the dark? You see, because our leaders cause us to err, man. You see, every man in the chambers of his imagery, for they say, Lord, it's like it. They say the Lord seeth us not. The Lord have forsaken the earth, right? Because they think the Lord, you know, because when Jake is not being directly dealt with the Lord, they think the Lord, they think the Most High YAHWASHI don't see their wicked acts, their wicked deeds, since they're not getting responses. All right, it says Yahweh have forsaken the earth. That's what they think, right? It says, he said also to me, turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see greater abominations that they do. Then he brought me to the door of the gate of the Lord's house, which was toward the north. And behold, there sat women weeping for Tammuz. Tammuz is the son of Nimrod, and supposedly him and Semiramis. Semiramis is his mother. Apparently, you have different accounts. When he died, just through secular history, because the scriptures don't really talk too much on Nimrod, but through secular history, he's brought up a lot. But slacking. You had where they said he slept, or when he passed away, or when he got killed, or whatever, however he died, that his mother took his rod, and ejaculated inside of her, man. And that's how they got their son, which is Tammuz, which is symbolic for the Messiah and the Father, man, and Mary, man. It goes back to all that because they knew the prophecy. So if they can make it seem like the prophecy was about them, they can get the whole world to worship them. And that's what Esau's trying to do. He's trying to get the people, he's trying to convince the people that the prophecies are about him. Like I said, Nimrod did that. He tried to convince the people that the prophecy was about him. And that's why I said all should be one people, or all was one people. He's trying to get the whole world under the new world order. But it wasn't for him to fulfill that lot. Esau was the man of sin, or is the man of sin. He was meant to do that. You see, so now it says there sat women weeping for Tammuz. So now you have it where first Nimrod failed, but now you have Esau doing the same thing and Nimrod tried to do. And all the ancient gods, or the ancient people and their false gods. Right? So he's taking the whole concept. He confused and he deceived the world, Diablos, right, which means devil and or deceiver. He confused the whole world to make it look like Job 9:24. He changed all the imagery to make it look like what? He's that man. He's the one. Okay? Like I said with Nimrod. Convincing the world that ye are the God. All right? So they sat and wept for Tammuz, man. Like I said, Tammuz is Nimrod and Semiramis' son. All right, which makes Tammuz the son of Semiramis, but also the grandson of Semiramis. Sick, right? Then said he unto me, Hast thou seen this, O son of man? Turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see greater abominations than these. Now, what else they do? And he brought me into the inner court of the Lord's house, and behold, at the door of the temple of Yahawah, BAHASHAM, between the porch and the altar, were about 25 men, with their backs toward the temple of the Lord, and their face toward the east, and they worshiped the sun towards the east. This is what matters right here. They worship the sun, which is toward the east. So remember, the scriptures say we're supposed to face the east and pray. Jake will get tripped up. See, we face, when it says face the east, read 1 Kings chapter 8, when Solomon had that long prayer. It covered the whole book, or that, I mean, the whole chapter. When you go into it, it says we are to face the Holy Land. We are to face Jerusalem and pray towards that way. Everything comes out of the east to the west. The west is the new world, okay? So long story short, or not long story short, but just, speeding up the time, he said they worship the same toward the east, right? With their faces toward the east, and they worship the sun towards the east. So the sun, what, rises in the east and sets in the west. So they're doing sun worship, which goes back to Nimrod, which goes back to all the Egyptian gods dealing with Osiris, Horus, Amun-Ra, right? All these concepts come from the understanding of Mesopotamia, and the whole breakdown that Cum gave his children and what Noah gave them. Because they knew the prophecies, and they just tried to rewrite the prophecies so they can get the blessing of the prophecies, man. All right. And one more on that. Let's get the classic Jeremiah and 10. Hear ye the word which Yahweh spake unto you, O house of Israel. So this is talking to Israel. Thus say Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen. We already know the Lord kept warning us of this. Psalms 106 and 35, we were mingled amongst them and learned their works. The Lord told us not to learn their works because it will be a snare unto us. It will be a destruction, chaos unto us. And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. Right. Because they have no understanding. They don't know that we tell time by the stars, the sun, the moon. All right, they don't know that we tell seasons by the sun, the stars, and the moon. They don't know that we can look up at the luminaries, the very essence of the Lord, the light that the Lord put in the heavens. We can look up and we can tell what's going on the earth, because we're spiritual. We're spiritual beings. We're connected with the earth. We're connected with the power, man. It says, for the custom of the people are vain, for right. So their customs are vain, man. Psalms 144 and 8, their right hand is the right hand of falsehood, man. Right hand symbolizes strength. So there's what they consider strength, or what they display as strength in the man's eyes, is actually falsehood. For the customs of the people are vain, for one cut up a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workman. With the axe, they deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails, slack it with nails, and with hammers, that it move not. Like we have here. This is what you see. Upright as the palm tree. You see? And then they sing unto it. What is a form of singing? Praise and worship. Okay? They sing unto it, man. Same thing we just read, man. So yeah, man, they worship the image, man. And they can't come out of Babylon, man. We would have healed Babylon. They're trying to heal Babylon by continuing on the ways of Babylon. You see, here goes Semiramis and Nimrod, supposedly. That ain't what they really look like, but So yeah, anyways, man, like I said, this all goes back to Nimrod, Cush, right? All those different tribes of the land of Hum, which means hot, or Kemet, where they get the Egyptian word Kemet from. Okay, hot, black, dark, the land of dark or heat. They deck it with silver and gold, as we just saw. They fasten it with nails and with the hammer that it move not. They are upright as the palm tree, but speak not. They must needs be born, because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil, neither also is it in them to do good. Yeah, so as we see, dealing with the Christmas situation, it's going off, man. Okay, you're sacrificing unto another god, man. Okay, another power source per se. That's what you're doing. And you know, Jake could deny that. Jake quick to say, nah, you bugging. Nah, quick. What I say? Jake quick to buck up against what you saying, man. You know, hey, but it's in the scriptures, literally, man. Literally in the scriptures of how you celebrate this man's rod. Okay. Um. Now let's go to Thanksgiving real quick. Here's an article. Oh, I gotta share it again. Now let me pull the article up. All right. Now this article is dealing with the massacre of our people in the year 1637, dealing with the Pequot massacre. They call it the Pequot massacre. All right, dealing with the Gadites. Specifically, it's a specific tribe or people, or it was a certain number. All right, that they was able to establish this whole concept of Thanksgiving. Okay, and that tribe was called the Pequot. The Pequot. All right, they called it the Pequot massacre. Now let's read some of this real quick. Like I said, I brought this out like 5 years ago. 1637, the Pequot massacre, the real story of the annual U.S. Thanksgiving. Now this information is very, very, almost all the way on point. It says Indian for sale. Get a home of your own, easy payments. You know, so find lands in the West. You see, because they took a nation and they took the land and the people, which was not theirs, man. They covet fields, man. They take them by violence, all right, and they take them by force. You see. All right, now let's read this real quick. It says, it says most of us associate the holiday with happy pilgrims and Indians sitting down to a big feast, and that did happen once. And let's read it. The story began in 1614 when a band of English explorers sailed home to England with a ship full of Patois Indians. Right? Hold on. Those were Gadites on ships. 1614? You say? Jake, you gotta answer that. Bound for slavery. They had natives, Gadites, on ships in 1614. We came here in 1619. So this was before that. Obviously, they bound them up for slavery, man. All right, and it says this: they left behind smallpox, which virtually wiped out those who had escaped. By the time the Pilgrims arrived in Massachusetts Bay, they found only one living Patois Indian, a man named Squanto, who had survived slavery in England and knew their language. Woo! The Most High far out, man. He taught them to grow corn. You see, why would he accept these people in front of him, and why would he just automatically start teaching him how to grow corn? Because he believed in them. He trusts them. The scriptures say, "Never trust thy enemy." As iron rusted, so of his wickedness. That he trusted them, because he came with peace. He taught them to grow corn, to fish, and negotiated a peace treaty between the pilgrims and the Wampanoag nation. At the end of the first year, the pilgrims had held a great feast honoring Squanto and the Wampanoags. And this is where you get almost the whole concept of the feast part on that day. But as word spread in England about the paradise to be found in New World, religious zealots called Puritans began arriving by the boatload. Finding no fences around the land, they considered it to be in a public domain. Joined by other British settlers, they seized land, capturing strong young natives for slaves and killing the rest. But the Pequot nation had not agreed, right? Because I remember reading this. They said they rebelled, man. They fought back. All right. It says, joined by other British settlers, they seized the land, capturing strong young natives for slaves and killing the rest. But the Pequot nation had not agreed to the peace treaty Squanto had negotiated, and they fought back. The Pequot War was one of the bloodiest Indian wars ever fought. So not only do you celebrate a genocide of people, not just any people, your brothers and sisters, you celebrate a day that's aligned with the bloodiest. Let's read that again. The Pequot War was one of the bloodiest Indian wars ever fought, man. With the most bloodiest war ever fought on American soil by the ones who inhabited it before anyone else came over here to inhabit it. And that's symbolic for the kingdom, man. The Lord is, everything's on point, man. The Lord is not making no mistakes. You know, everything is dealing right now, man. Let's read a couple more on this. It's heavy. Now watch what they did. Look how wicked these niggas is, man. Huh? As a matter of fact, no, we can just read it. In 1637, near President, let me skip down a little bit. No, let me keep reading. 1637, near present-day Groton, Connecticut, over 700 men, women, and children of the Pequot tribe had gathered for their annual Green Corn Festival. So, right. So, remember, Jacob is the former of all things. Okay? So, they were dealing with their own type of celebration called the Green Corn Festival, which is, they say, our Thanksgiving celebration, but it's not. The Thanksgiving celebration was celebrated from what we're about to read now. In the pre-dawn hours, the sleeping Indians were surrounded by English and Dutch mercenaries who ordained them to come outside. You see, so they came with the peace, and then they attacked. Those who came out were shot or clubbed to death, while the terror. Because in order for somebody to come outside, when you rolling up, you have to be saying smooth words, right? Those who came out were shot or clubbed to death, while he terrified women and children who huddled inside the longhouse were burned alive. The next day, the governor of Massachusetts Bay Colony declared a day of Thanksgiving because 700 unarmed men, women, and children had been murdered. So that's when they declared that day to be a day of remembrance for that situation. Now watch this. Cheer about their victory. See, not what victory, man? What victory? They wasn't fighting back. What victory? You had some rebels. You had some stand-ups. What victory, man? You just found them. You see? Because they think anybody outside of them is deemed, the enemy, okay? Where you have to conquer everybody. And that's how he thinks to this very day. Cheered by their victory, the brave colonists and their Indian allies attacked village after village. Women and children over 14 were sold into slavery. No, the Gadites, they want no boats, Ock. They didn't do this, they didn't do that, Ock. Ain't that what Jake say? It says were sold into slavery while the rest were murdered, right? Like the scriptures say, when you're dealing with war, all the men die off and you take their women and the children, man. That's how it has to happen. Those are stages of war. It says boats loaded with with as many as 500 slaves regularly. Woo! Regularly. Right, because Cristobal Colon said, who that's his real name, but his name, as you know it, is Christopher Columbus. He said he didn't put down, I believe he said he didn't put down his sword. Damn, man, if a brother know, you could put it in the comment board. But it said, damn, he didn't put down his sword for but what 10 minutes or something to that effect. That's how much slaughter he was doing, man. But yet you have a holiday, you have a holiday for him, and you praise him, and you memorialize his image, his name, and his ways. Bounties. It says regular. It said boats loaded with many as 500 slaves regularly left the ports of New England. Bounties were paid for Indian scalps to encourage as many deaths as possible. You see, so let me read this last part real quick. It says during the feast, it says following an especially successful raid against the Pequot, a successful raid, and what is now Stamford, Connecticut. That's where it took place. The churches announced a second day of Thanksgiving to celebrate victory over the heathen savages. They call them heathen savages. You see? So, and not only did they have it, they celebrated once. They did it more than once. Okay? I think Abraham Lincoln is the one who made it where it's a yearly thing set for one date. Okay? I think he was the one that made it a yearly thing. It says to celebrate the victory of the heathen savages. During the feasting, look what these devils did, man. The hacked off heads of natives were kicked through the streets like soccer balls. Even the friendly Wampanoag did not escape the madness. Their chief was beheaded and his head impaled on a pole in Plymouth, Massachusetts, where it remained on display for 24 years. And that's where you get the concept of if you ever seen that movie Black Knight with Martin Lawrence, he would look out the window, all their heads was on those stakes. Because these the same people, man. They already showed you who they was, man. You could read this article, Lord willing. I remember I could put it in the description because this is a heavy article. Like I said, I brought this out before many times. But yeah, man, let's get a couple more scriptures real quick, and then we can close out because let me keep that tab. But this is what I do. Let's get like two more. All right, two more. Nah, let's go to Genesis 49. So this is Genesis 49 and 19. Gad, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last. So a troop, which is, remember, Esau's blessing was the sword. So that troop was gonna overcome him and overtake him, man. Okay, eventually that the rest of the tribes can get here, because Gad was already here. This is the place of destruction. So the Lord had to use his sword to come down on the Gadites so that prophecy could continue to flourish, man. The Most High is too far out, man. We can't comprehend his ways, man. You know, we understand on a small level, but we will never have that knowledge until the kingdom is established. Psalms 55 and 19, real quick. Just real quick. It says, Yahweh shall hear and afflict them. Even he that abideth of old, Selah, means forever, because they have no changes. Therefore, they fear not Yahweh. It says, he hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenant. right? Because um let me read that again. We get that. We could close out with that. That was First Maccabees. It says, "He have put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him." Okay, he came to the Gadites with subtlety, gave them smallpox. You know, you know, the Gadites taught him how to grow corn, how to till the ground. But the Lord said he wasn't gonna till the ground no more, man, because he was a tiller of the ground when he was Cain, man. It says 55 and 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. You see, because they are men of war. They're the Most High's they're the Most High's correcting stick. You know what I'm saying? But war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. Softer than oil, man. Put oil on your skin, softer than the baby's butt. You know, this how subtle and crafty and not classy, but that's Satan. This how wicked this nigga is, man. I just can't get over how wicked this dude can be, man. You know, this is First Maccabees 1. Get right to the point. 25. Therefore was there Therefore there was great mourning in Israel in every place where they were, so that the princes and elders mourned, the virgins and young men were made feeble, and the beauty of women was changed. All right. It says every bridegroom took up limitations, right? Which goes into sorrowfulness or crying or whatever. Took up limitations, and she that sat in the marriage chamber was in heaviness. The land also was moved for the inhabitants thereof, and all the house of Yaquab was covered with confusion. So now everybody's confused, and that's how Jake is gonna be because they're celebrating the ways of Esau. Therefore, they're gonna be consumed, man, and they're gonna be not only consumed, they're gonna be confounded. They're gonna have confusion, right? It says 29. After 2 years fully expired, the king sent his chief collector or tribute unto the cities of Judah, who came unto Jerusalem with a great multitude, and spake peaceable words unto them. How can you, that we read it in Daniel chapter 8, and spake peaceable words unto them after he created a massive slaughter. He stand in front of the people and give them false hope, convinced them that what he did was right, but all was deceit. You see, for let me highlight that. But all was deceit. For when it's like it. But all was deceitful. When they have given him credence, he fell suddenly upon the city and smote it very sore and destroyed much people of Israel. You see, um, yeah, man. So that's pretty much it, man. You know, this man is full of robbery and lies, witchcraft, sorcery. You know, as we brought out, like it was kind of lengthy, but we brought out valuable information. You go back and read some of these, or not read, but yeah, read and take screenshot, whatever you gotta do to get the understanding, so that when they start to come down on us heavy, you ain't assed out, man. Especially being new to the truth. So remember, everything spring. We went over the New Year, Christmas, and Thanksgiving, right? New Year dealing with the springtime as we see here, dealing with a bee. Okay. What else I'll say? New Year's, Christmas, right? Dealing with Nimrod, going back to Semiramis and Tammuz, right? So, um, yeah, man. So, hey, with that, man, it's pretty much it's straightforward, man. It's straight like that, as they say. And I pray that it was edifying to the elect. again, we want to give all honor and glory to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, HAQADASH. All right. Yahweh being the name of the true Heavenly Father, the true name of the Heavenly Father, and Yahawashi be the name of the Lamb, the Heavenly Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, man. All right. With that, man, enough is said. We could go on and on and on, but I believe it was covered through the Spirit and power of Yahweh, Lord, what is edifying. Until next time, Shalom.